We're at the Alden Village Center in the Woodlands, Texas.
Yeah, they want to blame Laura. Laura doesn't initiate anything. You guys started and like Mo, she just keeps it going.
They were saying that Laura's always pushing the pace. On this ride, I left Northampton, rode into the Woodlands, picked up the group at the Alden Village Center. Because of all the rains we had, we stayed on the main roads. We took Fishcreek, past the Overpass, Capitol Hill. Once we got into Honia, Mill Route 2854. We stopped at Taco briefly and we continued off camera into the forest. Came down Bethel, 1097, back into Montgomery. We were trying to avoid flooded roads and flooded rivers. I took some shots of the flooding on the way back and also when we were going out on Fish Creek. So we came back Leah Drive, Fishcreek Blvd, back into the Woodlands. This way we avoided all the low-lying areas and didn't have to deal with any flood-prone areas because we had a lot of rain on Thursday night this week into Friday.
I saw him on Wednesday, my brother.
Yeah?
He was on Creekside.
What was he doing?
He was speaking Italian to me. I was turning into my neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know where we turn left
Maurizio.
off of Creekside Green?
Yeah.
He was coming straight from the west side. As I turned, I saw the cyclist in the distance, but I didn't recognize him. So once I turned, then he's like, I knew it was him. He had on his red and white jersey. Yeah, he was out riding. I went out for lunch, a lunch spin. He was out there.
Yeah, it was tough getting out this week. We had a lot of rain, and then
I only rode one day, man, Wednesday.
I
felt tired the whole week. So I don't know. That's why I wanted to do a little longer ride. Because it's supposed to rain tomorrow, man. So it's not too bad. I'll probably put the rain thing on because I didn't get to ride much this week.
So the goal for this ride was to get some distance in. I got almost 6 hours, so that was good. So my emphasis was zone 2 mostly. I was able to stay there. I had to let them go at certain stretches, but we caught back up at the stops. So at this point, we're crossing 1488 on Egypt Road, where it becomes Conroe Huffsmith Road. We're heading out to Open. That's Joe Nanga on the left, who's visiting from Dallas, Texas. We had a decent turnout. I expected it to be a lot larger because the week was full of rain and a lot of flooding in the area. So I had to design a route that would avoid the low-lying areas. It worked out for us. We didn't have to deal with any low water crossings, so that was good. This is Joe. I think he has a Trek Madonna. It's Paulie Longa. That's Darren in front of Paul. Abby is up there on the left. That's Laura El Pirata on the right. As we leave town, getting out of town to find the roads less traveled. High exercise potential. So you need to find areas in your region wherever you are that are quiet, so you're not competing with traffic. I don't care for traffic even in my car. It's a waste of time sitting there going nowhere. So when I get on the bike, I don't want to deal with congested roads. So I find the quietest roads to use so I can stay mobile, keep moving. There's a stop sign in front. There are a few deer hanging out in one of the yards as we turned. I think that's what's coming up there. I think there's deer on the right, yeah. That's what Joe's calling them. They're very skittish.
These people must have some food. Yeah, we have quite a few on this side. But they must put some out in the yard. The deer's always hanging out in certain yards. We have quite a few on 2978 when we go down that hill. Yeah. They actually get hit by cars trying to go across.
Yeah, we have a lot of deer on the north side here.
But they still have a lot of woods out here.
Yeah, they haven't cleared everything.
They haven't run them off yet.
There's also a lot of deer in Austin. When I lived there, there's a park near where I lived off of 360. The deer, there's a bunch of deer that hang out there.
Any. Yeah, I'm sure we do.
So approaching 2978. This section is Horny Egypt Road. This part of town, you're going up, as you can see in the profile there. The elevation continues to go up. 110 meters right now.
Carp!
Above sea level. We're on the open road, the FM 2978 in Montgomery County, Texas. We're headed north. This section is Horny Egypt Road. At this light, it veers off to the left, and it's called Horny Egypt Community Road. We're headed north. We're going straight. This is Sendera Ranch Drive, this section of it. And once we get past the bridge, it becomes Fishcreek Thoroughfare. All these roads were improved over the years. They used to dead end where that bridge was. That bridge was not there many years ago. The volume of traffic has increased out here. You can see the fence on the right. These people's homes are right there. This road used to be very quiet and much narrower. And they've since opened it up to where you have 4 lanes and a center turn lane. There are homes on both sides of the road. You see the fences on the left. There are homes maybe 50 yards from there. You can see the homes. So people live right off of this. This was not as busy when they bought their homes. So they try to put up those fences to keep the noise from the cars down somewhat. But, it only does so much. The cool thing is they left the trees up so you don't see their houses easily. So some of the driveways snake out. This is on the edge of the woodlands. I'm not sure where it actually ends, but we're leaving the woodlands area. If you look on the map to the left, you can see that orange dot. That's where we are right now. And the entire route is outlined on that map on the left. And then the detailed map is on the right for the street level view. This is Michael Bradbury. He said he's not feeling well. He has a bit of a chest cold. About a month ago, we had a lot of pollen in the area. Mid-March to about end of April, a lot of pollen. And it affects you when you get out there. But he still rode pretty fast once we got out, once we got going. I think he came out to see how he would fare. As you can see by the training zones on the bottom, the power zones, I was able to, by using my head, stay within the zones I needed to be in. I wanted to do a long, mostly zone 2, maybe a little bit of sweet spot, nothing too hard. That was my goal. So I had to decide. I stayed in the pace line.
So I moved out. I was watching him the whole time.
Yeah, there was a driver that didn't want to get out of his lane, and so I took up more of the road and I kept my eye on him. And the left lane is empty. He finally moved over. They act like there's something wrong with the left lane. The left lane's for passing. Use it and pass. It's not complicated. So that's what I was telling Michael when I moved over to the left.
Egypt is underwater. Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of water on the right. I'm going to film it coming back. At the end of the video, I will do a more detailed scan with the camera because we're moving so fast right now. I filmed a little bit while we're heading out, but this thing is at least 10 feet off the ground, and the water looked like it was within 3 or 4 feet of getting under this bridge. And he said, look at the water. That's like a lake down there.
You know only is underwater when you see this much.
Yeah, because that's like a dry creek. There's nothing there, and it's all the way past the bridge on this side. Look at that. That's from the rain we had. We had historic rains, kind of like Hurricane Harvey type. So the eastern part of our area, near Huntsville and so forth, had a lot of flooding. So we had to make sure
Huntsville is flooded.
We chose the right route because we have some low-lying areas. So we did not use Honey Egypt Road today for that very reason, because where the hill is, it's very low. And it's susceptible, as you see. That was the lake that goes over it as well, and it was definitely it's underwater.
We had a lot of rain. Livingston's underwater.
And after this ride later in the afternoon, the rains came back again. We got pounded.
Go ahead.
And then Sunday morning, more rain. So we're getting more rain, even to the areas that have dealt with flooding is still getting more rain. This must be some front sitting in the Gulf pulling that moisture. So what I was saying earlier was my goal was to stay in zone 2 most of the ride. As you can see, the shaded areas. For me, this was an endurance ride. I had a week where I was mostly off the bike. And with the current status of my training, I needed more distance in my legs. Didn't need to push too hard. So my goal is to just sit in as much as possible, work only as hard as I needed to stay in contact. Once we got out in the forest, in fact, I let them go for about probably 10 kilometers and then picked them up after the stop at Taco Corner on the way back. I rode with them for a little while longer. So it ended up being a very good ride. So you got to use the group to help you fulfill your training requirements, so to speak. I mean, if you're just showing up and you just want to do whatever the group does, that's fine too. But a lot of people have reasons for joining the group rides. Some people want to work hard, so they go to the front more often, and so forth and so on.
Spring break.
So we're talking about the pollen. Mike Warner was asking me when I thought the pollen was heaviest.
Yeah, we're really dirty for cars, yeah.
Once spring hits around here, all the cars get green. You know, even the bikes get green. You go out and ride, it gets on you. For me, it bothers me. I do a lot. I have a lot of coughing and sneezing. After the rides. That was a ride. Paul and I did a ride. We're coming back. After the ride, I got home. I was sneezing the whole evening. It's really weird.
That looks like Dan Martin here.
I said Dan Martin was Don. It was Don. This is Don.
Come on, Dan. How you doing? Good.
That's Don Martin. He's the ride with Team RR. We picked him on the road and we hung on the back for a bit. I didn't realize that the camera was at a Dutch angle here. I think at some point I probably called it and straightened it up a bit. There we go. I wasn't paying much attention to it. I'm in a large gear, just kind of getting my legs to wake up. That's why you see the cadence 70s, 80s. We're just kind of rolling. There are these dogs, I filmed them. Little rat-looking dog, little chihuahua barking at us. Tough Texas dogs. It's always the little ones that want to act tough.
How we doing, Alden? Doing good, man. Doing good? Yeah.
That's Mike Weingrad.
Well, it rained out this week. Well, that other day I rode around Lake Windsor. It was beautiful that afternoon 2 days ago. 3 days ago? Must have been Wednesday. It was just so pretty. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's talking about, so he rode Thursday after the rain.
Came out.
We had most of the morning, a lot of rain into the early afternoon, and late afternoon, the sun came out and said he rode.
No, just on Wednesday. Thursday that rain. So heavy. Yeah. No, I didn't ride. But you rode up north? No. On Wednesday I rode, not on Thursday. Yeah, Thursday was. That's when we got the biggest storm. So no, I didn't ride.
Yeah, I only rode 1 day this week. So depending on how your week has gone, you want to really
Lars, good rider.
Temper down your your Saturday. So if you only had a few training sessions or you're not feeling great, when you go out on the weekend, kind of see how you're feeling and wait for maybe the 3rd or 4th hour, depending on how long your ride is. Wait for later in the ride if you must push to push. Don't do too much too early. So I'm making sure I don't work too hard because everybody, the road went up a little bit back there and people were raising the effort. I just kind of slid back a little bit. The pace is picking up a little more, so we're going to start going single file soon, I believe. It just happens organically. I mean, as the pace picks up, the line will tighten up. Because everybody basically is trying to save some energy, is more efficient to draft. I think the light is red. We're coming up the Ridge Lake Shores.
And then everyone goes up the hill and here you come. At 27. Is the pond next to you? How full did that pond get? How full did the pond get? A lot worse.
So we went up a couple of risers, about 3% or so. You see my heart rate is approaching almost 160. It's falling back down. I don't look at that too much when I'm riding, but what I'm trying to do here is keep my effort even. So pretty soon I'm gonna drift. I'm drifting back to where I was. I went on the left because they slowed down. I didn't want to brake. So now I'm behind Mike. This is where I was. That's how you maintain your position. So as we go downhill, you may see me drift to the left because I always tend to descend faster than a lot of riders. I'm not really sure why, but maybe it's my position or whatever. But I always go down the hill quicker, and I don't like to follow people who are not going quickly because you end up braking too frequently, and you lose all that momentum. So you see I'm on the left here, just to maintain the speed.
I don't know if I want to do all that.
Then I'm going to slip back as the group starts to go again. So Abby pulls off the front, and we're going somewhat downhill. Let's see what it says. Minus 1.3 is. This is a downhill. In the distance, it's going to kick up and turn to the right. We're getting pretty close to the overpass. Everybody pushes on the overpass. Abby's greeting Peter up there. I guess he was happy to see Peter. Peter is in front of the guy in the blue jersey, Alejandro. In the blue jersey up there, Peter's in front of him.
Go ahead, Abby.
The group right now at this point, the group is holding a very even tempo. We ride faster than this. I don't know if it's because of how the week went or whatever, but this was a fairly even tempo, really, from here all the way to Taco Corner. Then after Taco Corner, once we started going into the forest, Mount Pleasant and stuff, it got a little more spirited. And I think it's fine. I think that restricting the group's pace too much, for me, it's a turnoff. It's like, you know, this thing is fun. Let people do what they want to do. You don't have to follow everybody. You see, that's Don on the right there. Look at his saddlebag. I ended up telling him at the store, at Taco Corner. I pointed that out. I think it was on the road. Somebody has a flat. And then he came by and I told him it was on 2854. So he moved over to the left, but he didn't realize these guys were going so hard. The road's going up and it's too hard for him. So he moved over, he's in the way. Now he's gonna wave me up. He doesn't want to work harder. So I go around him. He's spinning too little gear. I don't know, you know, everybody rides differently, but if you're spinning the gear, let's say, you're always spinning if you're smooth, but what I mean is if you're doing like, say, 95, 100 RPMs and people are still pulling away from you, and if you feel like pushing harder, you got to go in a larger gear because otherwise you just get out of breath. You can go anaerobic spinning too high a cadence for too long. It's not very efficient spinning at 115 RPMs or 110 for extended periods. The very few people are very efficient there. So you got to find what works for you. The pushing on here, you can see we got a straight line. I'm doing 90, 91. I'm probably in a 53, 17 or 19, something like that. So we're doing about 18, 19 miles an hour. I said to the left of Abby, I want to maintain my rhythm. Just in case the group slows down, I can just keep going on the left. When I'm climbing, it's a lot easier to just maintain a steadier rhythm than stopping and starting on a hill. So I went as hard as I needed to sit in the line. It was harder than I had planned, but you're gonna have to do that in a group. And then the rest of the time, just take advantage of the terrain or the pace and conserve your energy by drafting. That's how you stay in that lower zone if that's your goal. And so if you're riding with the same group and you don't want to stay in the lower zones, that's when you go to the front and you trade the pace, meaning you take your pulls and you rotate back within the first third of the group. Don't go all the way to the back necessarily. Because when it's hard enough, you'll have no trouble staying up there. If that's what you want to do, you will always find a gap that you can fill to remain near the front. It's not any easier back here. I'm just sitting where, at this point, I can get a good shot and the ride is finally starting to heat up after that overpass. Because before that, we were just kind of rolling. I've already checked. Abby checked also. We moved over, and Abby has that Garmin Varia, the RTL 515, and it has a radar that warns you about approaching vehicles from the rear. I think Mike has the same thing also. I just got one I'm using, and I like it. I turned off the alert. I don't have that multi-alert. I have the single tone, which is like almost like a bird's toot. I like that. I went around Mike and them because he and Abby talking, because as soon as we turn here, this is a grade, and I know these guys are going to lift the pace. So you want to stay close. You want to stay within contact. You save energy that way. And all I'm doing is surveying the road, looking for these ruts. These roads are not super smooth, but fairly decent. There's a car coming, so we close it up.
Brother from another mother.
Abby always says that when he sees me. My brother from another mother. Mike S5 on the left. So these two guys are Mikes. So we give them different, I guess, I wouldn't call it surnames. They're like avatar names. So the guy in the orange jersey is Mike S5. The one on the right here in the pink is Mike, English Mike. And then you all know Mike, San Diego Mike, Mike Barreras. So all the Mikes, and then that's Winegrad behind. So we got 3 Mikes in the group today. But we have about 4 or 5 Mikes that rides from time to time with us. So everybody's got a different acronym added to their name. So we call Michael Bradbury on the right, we call him English Mike. He's from across the pond. And then we have Winegrad. And then we have, of course, San Diego Mike. And then Mike S5. This is a slight grade. Let's see, at 1.something%. So it kind of drags all the way to the corner, and then when you turn, it's like 2.5 right at the corner. So you got to be in the right gear, or you got to stand. I remained seated because I made sure I downshifted enough to keep my momentum after that turn back there. In a few kilometers, Alejandro's going to have a flat. Laura's pulling off the front. Abby calls Laura Captain. I call her the pirate. She rides like Fantani. When the road goes up, you just see Laura lower herself. And her bike just starts pulling away from you. You're like, what? So I call her the pirate. El Pirata. So Marco used to attack those climbs in the Jura and the Tour. As soon as the road would go up, you just jump out of the bunch. He'd be in the drops, lower his body, and just ride away into the clouds. going to have to watch the camera more because I did not realize that I had it tilted for so long. Usually I readjust it, but I was focused mostly on just cheating the wind. You can see from the camera view, I'm fairly close to Abby. The camera has a wide angle. I'm within a foot of his tire. I am staying close. I wanted to keep my effort as low as possible today. Because my goal is not riding to Taco Corner. My goal is doing about 4 hours with these guys, and I'll do 2 hours by myself. That was my plan for Saturday. That's why I usually do 5 to 6 hours. So this week I'm hoping to get more time on the saddle. It's now May, so it's time to start going faster. Well, River Chapel Drive in Montgomery County, we're going to be going in about probably 2 or 3 kilometers. The road's going to kick up a nice little bump. I think we rode it fairly well. I don't know if it was particularly hard. We stayed together. So after this intersection, as you go through the stop sign, is a grade. You can't see it, you feel it. So look at the gradient on the right under that picture on the right. See 2.2 right there as we go through. If you're in the wrong gear, it surprises you. He kept saying that. Right there, I just laughed. So it was one of the more subdued rides to Taco Corner, and that's why I dubbed it Zone 2, because for the most part, if you look at the zones, I stayed like under 300 watts most of the time. I mean, you're going to go above in the corners and stuff, but just generally. I think here I'm still on the right. I'm on Abby's right. I remain seated.
Good. How you doing?
That's Mike S5. So after that climb, we go down a little bit of a dip, and you can see it's like 2 to 3% here. Then we're going to go down the hill and turn right. At the turn, I believe Alejandro announces he has a flat, or no, it's after Mill Route. He had a puncture. We end up stopping on the side of the highway. Whenever we stop, we look for a driveway or an area that gets us off the main road. You want to avoid being stationary on the side of the highway. You're not as visible when you're not moving.
Michael, it sounds like you're fighting a cough.
Yeah, I've had a bit of a chest infection this last week or so.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now I'm just loosening it up.
Yeah.
Said he had a chest infection. He was coughing, I could hear him. It's a heavy cough.
Yeah.
Put a little effort in, it's like, okay.
Yeah. Just take it easy
So
too.
he's on the downside of it. So hopefully he'll be better off later in the week. Those things have to run their course. So when we stop at the stores, I pretty much stay in the open area. I don't really like to go inside and be near a big group. You know, it's just since COVID hit, I'd like to be outside. It's kind of because people have stuff and they don't know what they have, and you can get it before they even know they have something. So you want to avoid a lot of crowded areas where possible, especially when you're training a lot. You're more susceptible to picking up bugs. This is South Pine Lake Boulevard. We're going to be turning left onto Mill Route. These roads have proven over the years to not be susceptible to flooding. That's the reason why today you can see all the water. That's all that dirt is new.
Put all that crap out
The
there.
rain washed that from people's yards. But because this is so high up,
all that soil over there. Hurry up!
so you can see how the dampness on the right, but the water does not pool on this road because this is the highest elevation on this route. So it runs downhill towards 105. Which is a piece of Lake Conroe is there as well.
My brother from another mother. Yes, sir.
That's Abby. This mill route now, you can see, look at the gradient. It's going to go up to like 3%. And it just stays between 1 to 3. So from here until 2854, you're up and down. And in the curves, it kicks up. So you're always working between 250 to 350 watts, depending on how much you're pushing. See, my heart rate's in the low 160s. I'm right above sweet spot moving into zone 4. But to stay with the group, I need to do this work right here. There's a lot of water that washes off from that street you see right there. That's what we're avoiding. It's always like that, so we kind of know. It wasn't because of the rains on Thursday. There's always water just in that section. But you can see how the dampness on the right side of the road, that's all the rain since Thursday. But because this is such a high elevation, all the water runs off to the side of this road. It never pools on this road. So all the vegetation on the side, they get to keep the water there. I've never seen this road on the water. So even though you're not in top form, you can still ride with your group, but you need to use your head. There's no point in putting your nose in the wind when you know it's going to cause you to not finish the ride. stay in the wheels. So if you look at the watts, I'll do like 180, one something, then I'll go to 50. That's just the normal ebb and flow. The watts are like 23 watts because I'm not really pedaling zero. So these are the areas where you get to rest. When we stop at a store, it's not to rest. We stop at the store to use the restroom, buy a drink, or get some water, whatever. So it's short, 5 to 10 minutes. It's time to go. You don't want to be there much longer than that. You know, put your body back on the bike and get going. You don't count on the stops as rest. Rest while you're riding. It seems like it's counterintuitive, but you should be able to rest while you're on the bike. Just like you can drink while you're on the bike. You're not always on the rivet. Like right here, I'm working harder. Most 500, 400 something, 500 watts. Because the road's going up. We're in a large gear, even though it's just 2.7%. But in the proper gear, you do 300 or 500 watts. Within 300 watts. And that's why your legs get tired, because all these little anaerobic efforts add up over time. The same thing happens when you're climbing mountains. There's sections of it where it's like this, it's flat, or it's slightly going down. Then you get to a switchback, it kicks up. Then you got to work that. And so you have to pace yourself. We're approaching the FM 2854. When we turn right, Alejandro up there is going to have a flat. We basically heard there was a sound when he had the flat. I'm not sure what was causing it. He's riding a tubeless tire, and I don't know if it was the sealant spraying or whatever, but we heard the sound. You notice as everybody stands and goes around me, I remain seated. I am not going to waste any extra energy. Somewhere around here, we're going to hear the sound, and we know something's up. Right here. You hear that?
Something's wrong.
So we pull into these driveways. You get off the highway when you stop.
Careful on this gravel.
There's a lot of gravel here. So we pull off the highway. You don't want, you want to get someplace where you're off the road. So we go ahead and wait for him, and then pretty much end the filming here.
Hey, you legends. On the way back, the group's right up the road there. I let them go. I stopped so I can film this. This is the flooding we've had. See all the water. Hopefully this thing will do it justice. But this place is usually dry. For the dry creek, we got water. And then under the bridge, and the water has actually gone down. Hope you guys can hear me. There's cars. But this is Lake Creek. And so we avoided Honia Egypt Road today because it's probably underwater at this creek. This creek hits Honia Egypt Road west of here to the right. It runs parallel to this road. So you can see the water moving. And they released the dam, Lake Conroe. They had to let some water out. It was full. And that added to this. But you can, I don't know if you can see. I will try to zoom maybe post-production so you can really see the water moving. There's a lot of water moving here. That stuff can carry stuff. So this is a lot of water. It's usually dry. That's why they built this bridge so high. It becomes a lake. I mean, it's called Lake Creek, but basically when it rains, you get up to 8-10 feet of water. That's a lot of water. And it's gone down somewhat, but it's still there. So Another nice day for a ride. I'm spinning back home by myself. I tested my body enough today. My form's coming along. I got to kind of nurse it along. But it was great to get out today because the week I just felt kind of meh. Didn't really have a lot of desire to get out. So one of those weeks. I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to film it. The water is really moving. And this is where it hits Honey Egypt Road on the other side. And I believe it's underwater there. So I hope you got a chance to get out and get some K's in like we did. It's a very nice day. We're supposed to get more rain this afternoon and into tomorrow. Hopefully it won't be too much because we already have a lot of saturated areas. All here, this area is usually dry. And up here, I'm gonna film this corner. You can see where the water has washed away. It looks like rocks that they put over there. I'm gonna film to the side. I may have to zoom. That right here is dry, but the water has run down from over on that right side. You can see where it really knocked down all those rocks and soil and so forth. So it's a lot of rain in a short period of time, but I'll do it. Let me stop and film it. The water's still running. See down here? That's new. It just washed away that soil. And that's going to keep falling if they don't come back and shore it up. Right there. That's all from this rain on Thursday.